Hi,
Hi.
Matt Rando, Super Metroid variety. Uh, Aussie, what's this all about?
So Super Metroid is very similar to the everyday Super Metroid, but Map Rando is the fancy part. We're going to be randomizing not just the items, but also the entire map. Um, so that's going to be exciting. Uh, in fact, the first thing that the players are going to do is look for the map station, and that's not so common, but that's what they'll do. So
Awesome,
we'll see just how this starts.
good stuff. So yeah, welcome to Map Rando, guys. Really fun variation of Super Metroid Rando that has come out in the last couple of years now. It's been in development. It's really coming into its own right now. It's a pretty hot item. As you can see, Andy's racing this now. I'm racing this, which is a massive deal. Our runners are starting. They're the exact same sprites. I hate that. But that's okay. We're starting in criteria always. We see the map here is in the top left. So realistically, what we're just gonna see now, guys, we're gonna see our runners kind of go through a bunch of rooms, and they're just gonna try and find some items, right? And then in the start of this rando, what they're kind of gonna do is they're gonna kind of run into items that are gonna lead to each other, one after another. And then what could happen is that the seed might just like really open up. So we see here with a start on the right side, we do see early speed, which is going to give our runners a top right access. And we see that that's baby. Sick room to find early. Love to see it. At least it leads to ship and an early gravity seed here. Okay. So hold on. I need to type something. Hold on. I need to go to that race time room.
Yeah. So
You know,
if they're really keen on showing off the itemless baby skip, but it looks like they're just going to skip, take an easy refill at the ship. But we do have early speed, early gravity, so we may be in for a fast seed. Our early seed always tends to go fast. You do have to be careful of running into the blue hopper. It does still do damage when it is alive. So we're going to take a slight setback here. And we'll see what Andy can do with this newfound gravity.
running into a
Hot
heat room.
rooms and water rooms are normally in logic for these settings. This looks like the thing to do.
Oh, this is definitely the thing to do with that grav and speed unlocked early. So Andy's going to be feeling cozy. Mo just getting over there. Kind of a normal pitfall that Mo was doing that I was doing early was you're always trying to stutter 3-tap on that small kind of plateau. And then I just see like people like Eddie just like galaxy brain just spark on ship forehead and then you like make it with enough energies. So but yeah, he's made it through, and he's seeing that he's morph locked to where he was going. So that's a no bueno path there. So he's gonna try and progress elsewhere. And I think he's gonna try and break left side here, which isn't in logic.
That is
But
correct. Not in
he's
logic.
gonna be able to get there. Okay.
Unfortunate. Really wanted this map. The black square means a map station. And it's
Yeah.
going to reveal everything about the region that they're in. It does find some boss information though.
Yeah. That tube is pretty ugly there. It's kind of hilarious though, to be honest. Okay, so he's gonna go down the pit. Yeah, and that's gonna not quite put him towards the map. Like, he knows that the map is going to be directly below pit, but let's see what's over here. Oh, this is a Metroid room, so this is not going to be in logic either. Doesn't have, like, any ammo to kill the Metroids or enough health. He's going to take a death here from the Evers. The Evers do hit like a truck. Even with gravity, I think it's like 60 health
Yeah.
per hit, so...
A base is 100, so with gravity it's 50.
50, yeah.
Yeah, gravity is going to be half damage reduction. Some randomizers have it do the 75% against this type of damage, but here it's only half. Both suits are half. And then, as you were saying, Metroid rooms, being able to avoid them is a very hard level trick. So it could expect you to run through and get grabbed, but we don't have the health for that either. So going to go a different way.
It looks like it's going to take him here into wreck ship now. It's going to find a save station here, which is kind of nice. Sorry, Turian. I was just kind of trying to pick out the color there. Okay, so lots of areas you could kind of explore out, and you kind of exploring downward a little bit, and Mo's kind of going over here to the left. Can't get this map station either, right? Because the map is locked by Morph. With its... no, actually, no. I thought that was going to be locked by Crap too. It probably is, but we'll see if they can get there. There's a toilet on the left side here, too.
Yeah, Andy ran into a crumble shaft and doesn't have the health to climb that. Norfair, though, has Aqueduct, and then this can be 2 easily gettable items.
Yeah. Mo's going to have to 3-tap here, though. Mainly because of his health. I think 66 would be enough, but it'd be really tight. So we run into Charge Beam here, and Aussie, you remember that Metroid rooms that we kind of ran into? So that now puts those Metroid rooms into logic.
Yeah, it's like normally you don't think of charge beams helping with Metroids at all, but there is a trick you can do called the pseudo screw, and that's a way for charge to give you something very similar to screw attack, and when you bump into a Metroid with screw attack, it bounces off. And so that's a way to go through that room without taking much damage.
Yeah, the first time I ran into that while racing, like I found charge really early, which was great in that seed. But then I was like almost the last runner to morph because I didn't realize that I could just like pseudo screw him. I never really thought about using pseudo screw in that capacity, so I thought that was like really nice that was in logic. We do see supers here on Mo, so I think that's our first ammo pack too. Super's a very vital item there. Opens up not only missile doors but super lock doors in this randomizer, and for the race settings that we frequent, those doorways are randomized as well. So you know how they are in vanilla might not be the same in regular. As you see, we're on Andy's side, for example, we're just running into a bunch of blue doors right now that would normally be like missile locked.
So also the ammo doors, they're going to be the same color on each side of the door, and when you open it from one side, it will count as both sides being unlocked.
Yeah, thank God.
Way you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah. It just, that really is kind of nice QOL, because like then you won't, you know, soft lock yourself, because if you go without like one super and then you need another super to get out, it would just be really huge pain in the ass, right? So
like a lot of the time with vanilla map, it can have you go down a direction, just have a door lock behind you. Like top of Red Tower comes up a lot with that. On your way to Alpha Peebs, there's just a power bomb door behind you, and you have to loop around the world if you want to go back. So it's a change with things like that in mind. And then we still don't have morph. A bit of a delayed morph here, which is a possibility, but it's not usually going to be delayed very much. It's just more than usual.
Right. And like kind of similar to the comment earlier about like how we're gonna run into item after nice double farm room. We're gonna run into like item after item basically. We're seeing that here, right? Like, because with a delayed morph, what I notice happens is that it just stays to that formula a lot. Like it'll be like speed booster to gravity, then gravity to these supers, right? Now we see a screw attack on Andy's side, so that puts those those bomb blocks right by ship in logic. But I think we already saw that and it wasn't really anything, so it could be something else coming up.
Correct. Andy did the Shine Spark through that wall, and it was just the Criteria Tube. So you still need morph and power bombs to get to that map in Criteria.
Mo is doing a really weird grab jump here. Hold on. Okay, he's just doing a running start. I was wondering why he was wall jumping in. I was like, oh, what's going on here?
So I believe running starts don't actually help with gravity jumps.
No.
So
especially with
a crouch jump would be more useful.
Yeah, because when he's the way he's doing it right now, he's pausing like really late. You want to try and pause as early into the jump as possible, because then you would like just maximize the amount of frames you don't have a suit in for. Because like I think it's like the first frame, right, where it accounts for what suit you're on, and then it goes from there. So if I pause and switch after like the first or second frame, then I'm gonna have all these other frames on my jump that are gonna not have a suit. And what that kind of does, it's like it's really weird in physics, but it's gonna just make me soar through the water basically and jump really, really high. What did Mo get there on that right side? It didn't look like too much. Kind of maybe a dead end, but yeah. So basically, that's just how that works. Both guys kind of just look a little lost right now, too, right? Just trying to figure out what to actually do with this one. I guess early Morphless kind of does make that pretty tricky.
Yeah, early Morphless, like it comes up less common than like an standard seed.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's more of a map rando thing. You have to go through rooms without morph. So everyone's going to be a little less comfortable.
So this is what I think that screw attack was for, right? Is it's got to be Oasis going up.
Yeah, that looks like a good use for it.
So I think they've been here without screw attacks. So like it would have been one of those things where you kind of want to check all the way down. I think Andy saw Green Hill Zone and said no to it. It's hard to tell a little bit with the sprite shuffle sometimes what room they're in.
Yeah, Andy's playing with the tile theme shuffle. Mo is not. So they're going to be going through the same rooms, but Andy's rooms are going to look like Norfair rooms because he's currently in the Norfair region. And that's going to change depending on the region.
I just realized what Andy's doing. He wanted to save first before committing to it. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. So now he's going to go back down there. He just wants to make sure that he's not wrong. Or not. Nope.
What's the perfect moonfall?
Moonfall and then just wall jump back up. He's like, no, I want to go this way.
It's a sandpit check, it looks like.
Oh, he wants to see if this is an item. This is another sandpit. And there are items here. He does not have morph, so he can't get these. He's going to be able to scout that left
missiles.
side. Yeah. So he would be able to scout that left side for to actually see what it is, but we do see the dot there. That Aussie's calling out here, and yeah, it's just both missiles. While making the same
and we
check
also have back-to-back sandpits.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, both runners on top of each other here, going down the sandpits. Andy has the screw attack, and we find X-ray. That could matter later. It's good to know about. There's a few situations where it matters for logic, but most players kind of ignore X-ray still.
It's kind of a weird item, right? Like it's basically there to help with clips, right? So when I say clips, I mean like ice clips, I mean snail clips. Anything that basically would clip you through a ceiling, that's where that X-ray would be very useful because you can kind of do a weird kind of jank stand-up when you're X-raying, and it would position you above the floor to the point where you can actually jump up above it. So, Tossie's point, yeah, it puts those in logic. Runners can, of course, do most of these clips without X-ray, but some of them, especially like, say, the B-Tom farm clip, or that E-tank, I call it the Gotham E-tank, where that fake floor is. That one's like incredibly hard without X-rays. So it's one of those things where you it's kind of nice that's in logic. It's a nice tell, but it's also very helpful to have.
Yep. So Mo is gone below the Oasis area.
Yeah.
Can take that death, unfortunately. That was a room with another item that he couldn't get. So I guess we're gonna turn back to Andy's screen.
Andy's gonna reset
also
as
taking
well.
a reset.
He just reset twice there. I wonder if that was on purpose. But he didn't like reset or revert his saves. I think he just did it twice by accident.
Still has screw attack, and that's the current progression item we're trying to follow.
Mm-hmm.
So logic is going to try to put items in the most difficult location within the current expected tech. So like the hardest hard difficulty location. And it's going to tend to follow the progression items.
Yeah.
So it'd be a location that's also behind screw attack.
He's going to want to go this way. Oh, this was forgotten. This was like East Ocean. That's why. So when I saw East Ocean here, I was like, I'm pretty sure this is where he wants him to go, just based on needing screw attack. So this is where I want to go. And of course, I think Mo just took a death here, but the point is you can still get you can still run past these speed blocks and get to another room. So that's why it's important to want to do this.
Yep.
Yeah, and that leads to Green
Well, it goes
Bryn.
right to the map.
Yeah, right to the map in Green Bryn. It's not going to be Fantoon because the map door is on the right side. We'll discuss that a little bit later when we get to that scenario. But okay, so we see a hollow dot up there, and we see a major we can get, and then that X-ray. So I think the seed's going to want him to get that. Oh, okay. I thought he was going to be able to get that major up top. But I
Okay.
guess not.
So right now they really want to find majors, and that's going to be the big filled in circles because they really want morph.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to route without morph because it takes a lot more thinking to think about which rooms are going to be morph locked.
Was I crazy, or was he not able to get to that major at the top right?
I didn't see a problem with it.
I didn't either.
I didn't
That's why
quite
I'm
look at the map
wondering.
long enough.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe he just wants to review options. Oh, because he didn't check that. Maybe he just wants to review some options, but
There's nothing on this screen that he can do.
no. Oh, okay. Oh, he's getting lost in the sauce right now. I can tell. We've all been here, right? Where it's just like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And
Most
Mo's
still
actually
needs
here
to make their
too.
way to screw attack, and that'll be really helpful to find. No, hard
So
part about commentating these races is we can't tell what they're thinking. There's a lot of information to
oh yeah, the
consider.
Metroid rooms. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep, Metroids with charge and screw attack. Metroid rooms make a lot of sense to go through, and they'd be considered like difficult rooms because you need an item to get through them.
There's your more. So that's what the screw attack was required for. Okay. So charge was for the
Okay.
Metroids, and screw attack was for the blocks. You could use screw attack. That would also allow you to get through the Metroids, but charge was enough there. Okay. So yeah, now we can just play the game. For the most part, right? Like the only thing that's really a big barrier for our runners right now with like speed grab morph is going to be that's also a nice item. High jump makes your vertical speed a lot faster, lets you jump a lot higher. Basically just vary at this point, right? Like just you're gonna have to take heat room damage now, going through any of those Norfair red heated rooms, and I think that's really their main challenge outside of like maybe running into low percent bosses. So with the more puzzle solved now, there's like this one here. Andy's gonna say no, thank you to. Let's see what our other option is.
Yep.
Oh,
And
that's
Mo also
actually.
heading over towards where Morph Ball is, but does not have screw attack.
Oh no, he doesn't. Yeah. So he doesn't. I don't think he can do that through this room. No.
No.
I was thinking, yeah, you know what I was thinking, like just the blue suit shenanigans, but it's kind of a weird. It would be a really jank setup. I don't think he can do it.
No. It's like if you had Morph, you could do it, but that's what we're looking for.
So he's gonna find high jump here. That's really awkward, right? I think, like in Mo's position here, he's gonna get high jump and he's gonna be really confused because high jump doesn't really do anything, right? If he didn't have gravity, I feel like it would make sense. Like I feel like I'd be on the right path. But with gravity here, that would be like a warning flag to me to say I missed something because like high jump is kind of like it would kind of work as a hey, this is my next step. I can jump through more water rooms. But with gravity, it's like it doesn't really do too much, right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Mo might be looking
Indeed,
for a
trying
bit.
to keep himself alive here.
Yeah.
Jumping between Evers, crabs, and heated rooms.
He's doing fine. He's fine.
Okay. Yeah, for Andy, having Morph, surely you go back to
Yeah.
Norfair, where you just got all the information about where all the items are, and can just pick up more hollow dots and more filled in dots for majors and Also looking specifically for power bombs. But all of the hollow dots are still good in the early game.
So the annoying situation Andy's in right now is like he sees where the map is and he knows Ridley's in criteria, so like you kind of want to go back, but because of the heat rooms that he has to get through to get back to ship, he's like, nah. So now like he's gonna have to run the risk of maybe there being more bosses there that he can't account for yet, or more items that he might want. And then to your point, just press forward, no fair, kind of figure out, go to those majors, and then you have a Bryn Star that's kind of waiting for you as well. Requires some more E-tanks in Logic or Varia, but like he has that free major he can get now, top right.
Does Mo live? Barely.
Yes, barely.
Metroids continue doing damage through the transition.
Yep. And he doesn't have screw attack, so rip.
Yeah, so I think that is... No, still has high jump. There's a save up here. Yeah. And he gets first missiles at 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think if I'm Mo, I'd revert the save again with that high jump situation. I just maybe say come back, but what is this nonsense he's doing? There we go. He really wants those missiles.
Having a gravity suit, you don't really need high jump for most cases, but it is going to help with your overall movement.
Yeah, yeah.
So it depends how much trouble you have with the Metroids and the sand halls. And then not having morph is going to make Metroids a lot harder to avoid.
I think he's forgotten about pseudo screwing at this point too, or he just doesn't want to risk it.
Yeah, there's a lot of tricks in Map Rando that are just things that you don't think about.
For sure.
Pseudo screwing Metroids just could be one of those.
Yeah, I've heard Eddie and a couple other people refer to them to as like knowledge checks, right? Like where it's just like, you might actually think something's not in logic, but then surprised it is. You just have to do it in kind of a roundabout way that really wouldn't be available in like contemporary Super Metroid, like how it's with the vanilla map and room layout. But like in Map Rando, you have so many different possibilities and scenarios now, right? Like you could be required to do like grab jumps through doors instead of like say not having gravity suit and doing a traditional grab jump. You just like jump through a dry door into a water door and then like just be able to fly to the moon basically and get through. So lots of kind of neat quirks with this one.
Yeah. And like these knowledge checks, they're not typically too hard to do. It's more about knowing that's possible at all.
Yeah.
And so like getting the aqueduct items without gravity but with speed is something like that. But that was so unknown to the point that we had to make it a specific tech and like post a video showing that you can do it and put it in a higher difficulty tier, just so it wasn't too crazy for being such a new thing.
Yeah. Andy's really scouting out this map. What am I missing about this? Oh, you know what?
Right now.
Yeah, you know what I noticed is that it's red tower was there, so that's maybe why he didn't want to go for that major. Maybe he wasn't sure if he would have had enough runway for a shine spark, right? So that could be why.
Oh, they have high jump now.
Yeah, it's in logic now with high jump for sure. I think at this point, for what we've seen, I would put good money that Varia is going to be on that item, just because we don't have a lot of E-tanks. Like, we have another reserve Andy may or may not have gotten again. And, like, to go down worst room in the game, I think you need, like, 4 or something like that. And then the other rooms around criteria, I'm not sure how many heat rooms they're going to face, because we don't have total map knowledge yet. But just it kind of just tells me that if there is one major to get here, it's probably going to be that at this point.
Yeah, going down worst from the game shouldn't be too much, but climbing back up, it's gonna be 3 or 4.
Yeah. So the way the logic accounts for that, right? That's basically, it assumes you've collected 4, so then it would place an item basically beyond that. So say Varia was behind worst room in the game going down, it would expect you to have 4 E-tanks to climb back up, correct? Because it would always try to path back to the ship.
So that's part of the 113 thing. This is on release 113 as of last weekly race. Where going down is going to have fewer requirements than coming back up, and so it's not going to put a major item just at the bottom. You also have to do something else that would have take some progression item for it to be a major down there.
Gotcha.
And that's because it'd be one-way reachable going down.
Okay, Mo's heading back towards Screw Attack now.
I don't remember exactly where Screw Attack was.
It was in around this area. I do remember that. I don't remember where, but this seems like kind of where it was.
Gate glitching is in logic. If you have 15 missiles, that's what it expects. Okay, so we get a nice look at Andy's map. That is going to be Spring Ball Room. So is Spring Ball Room possible? You know what we just found? We found power bombs.
Okay.
So that was the problem with Spring Ball Room. You couldn't bounce up to the major.
Gotcha. So now they can.
Yeah. With X-Ray, you could do it without power bombs, but that would be an expert level trick, and we are on hard difficulty.
So, would that be like forcing the stand up and getting into weird positions?
Yeah, you'd have to do 4 stand up and a funny jump, and then an R jump. So, like, if you know how to do that, you could go directly to the major, and all the hollow dots that are along the way. But instead, just found power bombs. Gonna make it easy.
Oh, that's where Screw Attack was. So it's on the west side of Norfair. Looks like Mo's gonna be heading there now. Oh no, he's going over to the right here.
And it's looking like there are more power bombs here in Main Street. E-tanks? E-tanks are always helpful until you give area.
You know
you go through a lot of E-tanks.
Oh, no. I wonder if Mo gets Screw Attack and goes down to Bryn now at this point. Uh-oh. Because he's already kind of been through criteria. Like, he's gotten high jump. Like, he knows that old Mother Brain's the thing, but oh no. That could be pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he sees that the Chronic Boost room is just easier to go through. Going to Brinstar, you don't know what's down there.
Yeah.
So it's a little better to go for the item that you know is there.
Yep. I agree. Yeah, good call it on Spring Ball. Yeah, it's sometimes with these guys, just the map is so fast. We see Grapple. So Grapple gets you through virtually Pants Room only, but it does give some other utilitarian uses. So the one that stands up for me right now would be it gives you like Drake Hill logic, but it also gives you I would say it would give you X-ray and logic at this point. So I think you need more E-tanks for X-ray right now.
This looks about like what you need for X-ray.
Okay.
With high jump speed and a suit.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it's 4 or 5, so I just kind of assumed.
It's something like 6 spike hits.
Gotcha.
To be 3 even. So Mo's looking at how to get out of this area without Screw Attack for those Oasis bomb blocks. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be through reset. You can Shine Spark through the blocks. but a little bit awkward to set it up. Oh, but he's going down this way again to get the E-Tank. This makes sense. I get an E-Tank so you can go through your Chronic Booster. Chronic Boost is the pre-Lava Dive room. Like, it's convenient to just say what a room name is, but not everyone in SpeedGaming chat is going to know what that means. A big part of Map Rando is being able to like instantly recognize rooms based on their map shape. And so it becomes important to just list off those names, and
It's
you also have
okay.
to make a route while doing it.
Honestly, it's okay. It's 2024. They're gonna hear the name Chronic Boost and they'll be like, "Hell yeah, brother!" Like, you know.
Yeah. Next year, all we'll give them is like the 3 tiles high, and then 1 top left, 1 bottom left, and figure it out from there.
All right, Andy is gonna go to Bryn. Okay. I think this is it was speed lock too, which you had early anyways, but kind of need to see here. Definitely, I feel like the right play at this point. It's like a 50-50 between if you want to go back to criteria. Mo's gonna get a screw attack now, and yeah, Andy's
Should
gonna
know
see.
where to go with that.
Andy's gonna see some heat rooms. He does have a farm available, so it's not that bad if he has to backtrack out. But yeah, we're gonna have wreck ship main here with this map station. Could be a good spot for Fantune actually. The reason why I call that out is, and Andy's checking doors away from the map. Fantune's map station is always facing to the left, so the doorway leading in is left side. As he sees, it is the derelict station. That kind of signifies that Fantune's going to be in this room. So Fantune can only generate in a room where the map station is going to be available, right? So it really knocks down where he can be in terms of like the gen, but it's a good tell for the runners to say, okay, I see this map station here. It's leaning to the left. Maybe I check some right-facing doors first, kind of thing.
Yep, it's way better quality of life than if they were actually like a world apart from each other.
Yeah, it would be very weird. Like, it would be... honestly, it'd be so tilting, right? Like, you find it in, like, criteria, and then you don't see them for, like, 4, like, areas, and then you have to go all the way back. That'd be awful.
Yeah, the early builds of Map Rando were like that. Same with the save station. Could just been anywhere.
It'd be cool as, like, an option, right? But, yeah, for, like, just generic racing or just even normal play, it'd just be, like, too much.
Mm-hmm. But we found Pantune, and he's going to get his first boss kill. I wanted to mention that going to Brinstar versus Criteria was a decision that was made because he didn't know that Criteria map was available, and had more to explore in Criteria. But because of Ridley there not being possible to kill right now, I decided to come this way instead to pick up more items first.
Yeah, which is good, but like the tubes there, you can like powerbomb that, right? Andy, at least at his point. Because I thought the tube led to the map, right? So
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So just deciding to put off Criteria since it does have that Ridley. So there could be more items up there, but he definitely can't kill Ridley right now.
Correct. Well, I mean, he could. he does have charge, but he doesn't want it. Okay, big moment here. Mo is gonna get his morph. I wish I had live audio on his mic right now because he's probably, you know what we're thinking, chat. That's a really rough spot for morph. But yeah, he doesn't have power bombs either, so he knows where the map is. He can't quite get to it. He's gonna try and progress further here. I think he has an extra E-Tank Andy didn't have here, so it might be more viable for him to check this right side. You do have the save here anyways, so... we do see the map. We see Mother Brain with a major right beside Mother Brain that he's eyeing right now, and he's saying, what the hell is this? We also see Meridia. Oh, there's a free major over there too. Okay, so that major's not too bad. So maybe that makes that other major kind of enticing, but I don't
Yeah,
know, Oscar.
otherwise the Mother Brain major is so far.
Yeah, I see that major. Like if I'm running this and I see that major, I'm just not happy, right? Because you try. Generally speaking, like to achieve a fast time in this, you just kind of want to avoid Mother Brain, right? Like because you can't kill it until you have all 4 bosses done. And it's like now, hey, there's this major that might be good.
Oh, double E tank though.
Well, that's good. Yeah,
You shouldn't have to worry about health anymore.
yeah,
I'm just reminded of a lot of seeds putting a suit right next to Mother Brain. It's like at the end of the long chain of exploring the world, and then
yes,
there's a suit at the end right next to Mother Brain.
yeah. I have run into that too, and it's fun when you do it by accident and you don't know Mother Brain's there, and you're just like, oh yeah, very nice, dude. We got it, and then you get the map and you see Mother Brain's here, and you're like, oh, this kind of sucks, right? Like, yeah. There's only been like maybe a handful of seeds where I've seen like Varia being like really hard required to be able to beat the seed.
Right.
But they're very, I would say they're pretty rare. Like most times you can kind of get around it by just chasing hollow dots and getting E-tanks and supers and full beam, but
Yeah, and this
um
one Andy already has 5 and 2, so
yeah.
it's a healthy amount of health.
So in his point, and he's got like really good movement items, right? So at this point, it's kind of like it's take it or leave it, right? Like in his situation, he's probably thinking to himself, yeah, maybe I just chase the hollows. The one thing I will call out though is that if I'm in Andy's shoes there, I probably look for a save and then just chase those 2 majors out anyways, because I only have 5 supers. So while I have like good E-tanks, like chasing holodots can either be power bombs, E-tanks, reserves, or supers. And this is just me, but every time I chase hollows, it's just always power bombs or always E-tanks. So
Yeah,
almost never
it's
friendly.
just not reliable that it'll be supers.
Exactly.
I think that's a common viewpoint, is that if you're chasing hollows for supers, you're not going to be happy. But
And then the one time you don't, and then it's just free supers all the way through, and you're just like, man, it happens so often. It's
yeah,
crazy. Okay, so Mo's getting his bearings in Norfair now. We'll have to get his first power bomb pack here in Norfair. Andy doing a neat little crumble jump there to get bombs. Did not have to do that. That is not logic, but you know, he's just doing it anyways, which is great.
yeah, I really don't like forcing someone to do that crumble jump.
It's pretty
So I'm a
bad.
bit not in logic for this. It's just
Yeah,
so punishing.
yes. Because if you don't have Varia, it's generally speaking, in like 90% of your situations you'll be in a seed, like it's gonna be a death, right? Like if you don't have Varia and you don't have the gear to beat GT, you just die. So no, I agree with that standpoint.
So the logical way is to lay a power bomb and use that to propel yourself over the crumble blocks.
Yep.
And then do it again on the way back.
Okay, so we see hollows and a major on the way to Dre. So he's forced to basically get that major there. It's gonna be right in his face.
Yep.
But there's some optional hollow dots on the way. So he's probably gonna, like, if I'm him, I get the major first and then get the hollows on the way back. But we'll see how he plays it. Who I think is really close to those power bombs. I think it might be these ones here.
Yeah, it's around here that
Yeah, 'cause
Andy
you gotta
got
go
first power
through.
bombs.
There's the reserve.
Reserve.
So it's coming up now then.
I know that if he heads towards the spring ball room major, then
Yep.
power bombs are on the way.
That's what he's doing right now. Yeah, because there's worse room in the game. That's what he's doing right now.
Not getting X-ray though. It's usually not required, especially if you can do the clips without it.
So he might feel behind too, right? Like, because he, like, getting high jump before morph like he did is, he probably realizes quite rough. So I would just be cutting corners here, which it looks like he's doing.
It
And
took a
running.
number of resets. 30-minute morph is
Yeah, it's
not
rough.
what you want.
Okay, and he's just gonna get the hollows now. Okay. I mean, I think probably just gets the hollows anyways in case they're supers, but to that mantra of you're gonna be disappointed. Yeah, Andy's just not running into what he wants right now.
Yeah, hollows are generally good, like until you have enough of the thing you want. and
Yeah.
then that category of item is no longer good. So he has enough power bombs to not want anymore, and he also has enough E-tanks to not need anymore.
And
So
there's
the value of hollows is only going to be in supers.
Mm-hmm. How many supers are in the pool? It's 50, right?
Yeah, 50
Yeah.
supers, 50 power bombs.
So that's 10 packs each, plus 14 E-tanks, 4 reserves. So, yeah. Just thinking about it mathematically, it's like it's a loser almost. Right? Like it's already low percent chance as is to get the thing you want to. We do see Space Jump as the free major. I don't believe Space at this point puts anything in logic with gravity,
Probably
but
not.
it is nice to have.
Yeah, it's like the hollow dots. When you want everything that's possible to get from a hollow dot, then they're great. But then as you go on, you just need them less and less.
Yeah. Surprised the beam strength's still this low, honestly.
Okay. This will be Mo getting his first power bombs in Main Street. You don't need to do the tight short charge here. You can go up a level. There's more room. And then Andy looks like putting on some damage with speed booster, but almost expect a grapple kill either way.
Yeah, this is being fancy at this point.
Okay. Can start dropping resources. Like grapple kill is kind of health efficient too, compared to multiple shine sparks.
Yeah, because you take damage from Dragon as well, right? So it's like to your point, you're losing out on a lot more than just going through the grapple, even without Varia. Right, it's pretty close to that.
So is grapple.
Yeah, grapple.
And then grapple's not too useful. It mostly just checks off the pants room potential soft lock.
But with Panzer like right there, and you know it's not really a thing, you probably kind of cheese to see grapple here.
Yep. Yeah. So now Andy stops to farm the flyaway bugs after spending most of his missiles. But that is Rick's ship cleared up. Maybe he'll go after more hollows. But you did have to come down this way for the Dragon kill.
So he's back to Rick's ship. Where was this led from? Brinstar, right?
Brinstar sounds right.
Yeah. I'd probably just go back to Bryn and just surface back, because there's those 2 majors there too.
Mm-hmm. Like this trip here feels almost as far as those majors.
At this point, I'm starting to question if that
Oh,
trip's
no.
really long. Like, thinking back to that map, a big portion of those tiles to get to Mother Brain was Decora, right? Like the speedway. So
Yeah, it was a lot of really long rooms that you can speed booster through.
I feel like it is far, but with speed and like all this movement, I think that's not too bad at all. Oh yeah, Cack Alley, let's go. Everyone's favorite room.
Yeah,
Probably one of the worst rooms
trip.
to run into in Rando, just because of the hard gravity requirement, right? But there are some tricks to get through it without.
Yeah.
And
Tricks that are useful to know, but not going to be required.
There's only one instance I can think of where I think we've had gravity beyond it, was where it was like you had high jump, space jump, and you did like you did a dry door grab jump to space your way through the rest of Cack Alley, and then it led to gravity, which was pretty clever, I thought.
Right. So logic, it's always going to expect that if you go down one path, then you're going to have another path back that'll lead you to ship. So Going right to left through Cack Alley is a lot easier than left to right.
Yes.
So you can do that, but then it just means the map is going to be so that there's another path back that does not go through Cack Alley.
Correct. And it might be something you might not explore yet, but it's kind of there, right? Like, it doesn't really count for map knowledge, basically. It just says, yeah, you could probably just get another way there.
Yeah. It's not too much of an issue the way that is, like, you don't necessarily know. A lot of the time you can tell where the exit is that you're looking for a connection to be.
Okay, most back here in Turin now.
Yep, so gonna get this map. What did the Torian map have? It is Kraid.
I don't think we've seen this one yet, to be honest. So I think Andy just went down to Bryn.
It's kind of
yeah,
odd.
so
This map seemed pretty available
yeah.
compared to Bryn.
Some holodots nearby Bryn or Crate 2, so that'd be nice. There's supers there. Yeah,
Yep.
Andy's just hard chasing hollows here. This is like always the feels bad play, right? Like,
Yeah. Like at this point, you pretty much have enough E-tanks to skip Varia, and you already have gravity.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice if you could just get enough supers to finish the game and not chase majors.
I don't know, man. With those two majors known, I get it sucks it's by Mother Brain. I probably would just chase those. He's back in Bryn now.
Yep, so
He has
Meridia's
Meridia
down,
available.
2 majors
Yeah,
to the right. He knows about Ridley and Mother Brain, but not Kraid.
correct.
So Meridia's
So
not going to have a boss.
maybe going back to Turian for the map first is what he's going to do here.
He doesn't
Where's he
know, but it would
going?
play into his plan of chasing holodots. If you're chasing holodots,
He
you have to
wants to
get missiles.
save first. Okay, he wants to save first before he goes for this. Got it. And he's going to go down. Okay. All right, Mo's going to be killing Kraid here as well. Threw a super at the base, but still can do a variant here. Okay.
At 3.
Yep. Did get one missile through as well, but that was on the open. I think he needs like just one more missile to kill. Yeah, there we go.
That'll be our first Kraid kill. So we're getting some pretty big route divergence in between the two runners. Like after you get power bombs, you have choices to make. Up, left, down, back to the ship. And we're seeing how it plays out. And here's going to be that first major.
That second major looks really free with the safe station. We do see plasma here, so that's a lot of beam damage there. So that's really good. Andy has the option to leave, and he's going to leave. Okay. It's a tight call. Only because plasma is good, but it's still not like really, really good damage against Ridley, for example. You do have 10 supers. It's just, it requires quite a bit more beam shots, right? Versus just having, like, say, even like plasma wave or plasma ice, even. So it's a tight call. Yeah, no, I think I agree with it just because of his E-tanks, but that's a tight call.
Yeah, it's like the choice was between hollows and majors, where hollows are the E-tanks and supers to help you get through Ridley, and then majors are Varia and beam damage. And found some very powerful beam damage, but... And then I guess it's going to make up the difference in, like, not full beam combo by having just a lot of health.
So this is actually really good for Andy. He doesn't know it yet, given where Kraid is. So the reason why it's important for him is because, like, we know Kraid's kind of free, and we know where Ridley is. So that's essentially the end game. He's just kind of looking for Kraid right now, right? With the map being this close to a start point, there's like a lot less punish potential of kind of meandering through a long Meridia. But the early part is not that friendly though. But he's got like full movement kit, should make it through this hallway pretty cleanly here.
I guess coming to Meridia at all is a questionable play.
Yeah.
Because you know that Ridley is right next to the Criteria map, and the only other boss you're looking for is Kraid, and Kraid could just be in Criteria with Ridley.
I agree with that. I think I would press back forward, but yeah.
But he does still need a way to kill Ridley.
Okay, so we see some free majors. I would go for top left. That's Omega free. I might just go for both. But we'll see what he does. He might just decide to leave.
I don't think he can leave. I think you need to advance your plan towards killing Ridley.
Yeah.
Supers does that.
Another A-tank kind of helps too, anyways, because again, with just plasma, like, it kind of points it towards leaving. There's a third major there. I think you dump that third major. You just like, no, I'm good. That's bowling. And that's a far amount away. But these other two majors here are pretty close. He's going to go for them.
Yeah. Like, he doesn't really need much more from this.
No.
Can probably kill Ridley right now. And the save is right next. I mean, Ridley's right next to the ship. So
yeah, I agree. That's why I'm like, if he has 15, he has 8 tanks plus 3 reserves. I think that's like, with ship being right there, that's pretty cozy. But I've said that before, and I've waffled on Ridley kills. Ridley can just do Ridley things sometimes too. So, all right, let's see what this is. If it's any kind of beam damage, he's just done. If it's very, he's just done. And it's ice, he's gonna want to keep that. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I think at this point, seeing ice there, I just get that other major on the way out, and then I'm just out of here. I think anything more than that, he's just like kind of overcommitting for Varia, which he quite frankly does not need at this point.
Yeah. So then we have Mo, very close to where Ridley is. They get the criteria map, and looks like he's trying to collect hollow dots. But from here, you still need a lot to have enough to kill Ridley. So I don't think we're gonna get the kill this trip, and he's gonna have to leave. But we'll see how much he wants to collect before then.
Did you see any majors on Mo's side when he opened up the map?
He got a spring ball just a second ago.
Okay, and he's actually committing for bowling here. Okay, I'm kind of surprised.
I guess the big surprise is that this is after going for hollow dots.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely in go now. He does not have to pick up anything else. He's just done. Yeah. That's a really painful Varia in hard mode, right? Like, you just know that a lot of the field probably wouldn't get this, but it's just so far out of the way. This is literally from one corner of the map to the other of the entire map for all the areas to get to this. So I would feel good if I had like really low E tanks, and really low gear. Like, he's kind of on that cusp, but we haven't seen what that other major is. That could just be like wave, and you have full beam 15 supers. I feel really super comfy.
Yeah. So Andy's position is that he's done a lot of check for hollow dots, gone through all of Meridia to get his Varia suit, and then he still has to clear the rest of the map to find his remaining bosses.
Yeah.
So not doing so great overall. But
yeah, these things can happen though.
Yep.
Yeah, it's he's like, I think he was in go when he got that plasma, and even more so when he got that ice. But again, I'm gonna say no to that major. See you later. He's out of here, and Mo still has a little bit of work to do, right? Like, he still has to he's got to find more ammo or more beam strength. And at this point, it's almost like he's gonna have to go Andy's pathway here. Might not need to go, like, say, as far as Meridia. We have not seen what that other major is at Mother Brain. That could just be like a plasma wave combo. That'd be really sick. I think the hilarious option would be Spazer. So we haven't seen that yet, but That would definitely be the feels bad, I think, is if you go there and not Spazer. Oh my god, I feel so terrible.
So there's a setting for placing Spazer before Plasma, and I don't think I've ever like noticed it in effect. But in
Really?
this case, it does have Plasma on the path to that other Mother Brain item.
Yeah, so that's the really weird thing with like 113 I've noticed too, right? Is that sometimes the map, like when you go through the log, it'll point through. You remember when we were looking at like the power bombs, like the first power bomb in that one, and it was like it took you past one and got you to another one. That's why I'm like, I wonder if it wanted
Yeah.
you to go past Plasma to get Spazer and then get Plasma on your return, right? Like,
Yeah, it's possible. Like it's just gonna place the items in some order with the
yeah,
available places, and
yep.
then place items after that too. Like if it's just the same step or something, then it's possible. Mo knows that this is Fantoon. I think we saw Andy do the same thing of checking the right door first and then
Mm.
verifying the map.
Yeah, now he's just gonna verify this. Yeah.
Beast Beam.
So Andy's just kind of verifying that he hasn't missed a boss. You know what I think? I think Andy forgot he didn't get Turian's map. He might like. I think he knows that Criteria's maps isn't a thing, but I'm kind of weirded out that he's double checking the map at this point. Like he almost seems confused. I guess he's trying to figure out his way back, but just him checking right, just make sure that he's not missing any bosses either is kind of, yeah, maybe a little turned around.
Like it's not that uncommon to like pause and cycle through all of your maps to make sure that you didn't miss a boss somewhere.
I think I'm just talking like this because I don't think I've ever been stung by missing a boss yet, but I probably will the second that happens to me. So
No, I have. It's happened to me a few times. You go off
I've
and you
missed majors.
clear another 2 regions. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
already had all the information I needed.
God, I've missed majors before, really badly. Like I've missed Varia a couple times. We're gonna have them incredibly easy and free and early in seeds, but yeah, I don't think I've ever like skipped on a boss before, which I think both can be really bad. Just depends on the major, but like the bosses just feels really bad. Mo's taking a lot of damage here, but does have gravity, so it's like Fantoon kind of just chips away at your health. It's not really too deadly. And Andy's about to run in this map here and is going to get the amazing news that, hey, by the way, Krabe was here this whole time. He's going to be ecstatic. He's going to love it.
Yep, there it is. 2 hollow
Hold on.
dots. We're all tied up at 2 bosses. Andy maybe actually a good bit ahead. So Andy has a path to the end of the seed from here. It just has to run over to Kraid, go back to ship for Ridley, and then go to Brinstar for Mother Brain, which is a lot of travel actually, so not all that fast. But Mo still needs information on Dragon, as well as a way to fight Ridley. And if you like, you can give the runners a follow. You got twitch.tv/Andy, twitch.tv/Mo015. There, drop another link to their streams again. It's nice of them to let us restream their race.
It's a really big race, too. I just looked at the entrance list. Holy moly,
Yeah,
there's
it's huge.
29 people. That is massive. I don't think I've ever seen it this big. I'm kind of upset I'm not racing it now.
Yeah,
But
on
that's
Wednesday I
okay.
said 25 was the biggest race we've had, and
Yeah.
now 29.
Yeah, that's exciting. So it's just growing in popularity, right? But it's a lot of fun, guys. Try it out. Hard tricky is, I would say, definitely not the thing to kind of jump right into if you're not familiar with Super Metroid. There's a variety of settings with this client, guys. There's a lot of different kind of ways to kind of break you into the process. There's very casual settings to kind of start you off with, so it's not going to just start you off with this pretty impressive hard stuff to do early. And there's just like a really well-defined complement of options that quite frankly, is robust and very impressive. So, give it a try, guys. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yep, there's a ton of options. You could play easier seeds than this. You can play harder seeds than this. Super Metroid has a lot of depth to what's possible. But if you do want to try it, I recommend reading the just the main page of the website, maprando.com. You can also get a link to our Discord there. Lots of activity on Discord. If you have any questions, I'll be there to answer any. But yeah, if you want to try this out, I'd suggest playing on a bit of a lower difficulty than you think you should use. But then also there's a lot of resources on the website itself, listing like what's expected. And then also there's a spoiler log that has a nice interactive map that's really cool to just look at. That comes with every race seed. Yep. Andy here with the free Ridley fight. Taken a couple of hits, so pretty happy to have various suit. I don't know if this would be looking so good without it. And Mo is going to tell us what this other major is. So that is both bosses killed and plasma. I've been a little bit behind on most of the tracking, but no complaints, so no problem.
Exactly. I think people are just kind of going along for the ride now. Andy did get through that Ridley kill. Pretty effortless, obviously, with all the items that he has to complement, and then also having that Varia to protect him against the heat.
I'm showing off how to get through the ohms. You can spring ball over them, or you can jump and aim down. Neither way is perfect, but they both will get you through. We have Alpha Peebs with this other major that we don't know about yet. And it's the beam damage. So Wave is really helpful if the plan is to skip Varia. And that's going to come down to how comfortable Mo is with the Ridley fight. Because we're on 80 tanks, 2 reserves, but not many supers. So it's possible. Then Andy is just in the end game here. Has to run all the way down to Brinstar. It's quite a backtrack to get this Ridley kill. But he's got through most of it now. Has to go all the way to Mother Brain and then all the way back to ship. Will be how the seed ends. There is a bit of an escape sequence between Mother Brain and like the final time. Because as we all know, Super Metroid ends with a big escape countdown before the planet detonates. But in this case, it'll use the same map that we're playing on, so it's a bit of an interesting experience. Go through it. And then the multiplier on the escape should be fine for players who are in the race. But you can make them really tough if you want. So let's see. Mo does not know about Dragon yet. So it looks like you want a bit more health to get this run through the key stairs, be able to survive a key hunter hit, and perhaps even planning for another heated room beyond it. Because see how far away the map is. Maybe not too happy with that.
Yeah.
You always want to see an early map room. Especially since the decision is between Wreck Ship and Meridia for the final boss knowledge.
Also, I'm not sure if you called it out, but looks like that other major was Waybeam. It looked like Mo went all the way over to where Mother Brain was for that major.
Yeah, I think it's just out of the way enough that it wouldn't be beneficial for Andy to pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost on path, but you have to go through a door. But I think Andy still has a Phaser not known. I don't know about Spring Ball. Might have Spring Ball. No, a Spring Ball was above Ridley. So he doesn't have that. So we're gonna get hops over the Ohms. Mo is then the correct region for Dragon. And then once that is taken care of, then it'll be all about going back to Ridley as soon as he's comfortable with the fight. Don't need bombs. So it can give us the Zeb skip. Nice ice Zeb skip. And then super missiles are going to do double damage to Mother Brain. So normally you'd do something equivalent to 9 missiles and 9 supers, but here it's better to do... it's like 14 missiles and then 4 supers. Yeah. That'd be like the most damage efficient way of doing the fight. Mother Brain 1.
I'm taking down all this knowledge right now, chat. I usually do 3 supers, but yeah, 4 sounds... I'm gonna try that out, see how that goes.
I think most people do 3 supers. There's a bit of a lost damage if you do it that way. But you need to use fewer missiles. I think that's the trade-off.
Yeah, it would just be faster naturally, right? Because it's double damage soups. It's less munitions going into Mother Brain's skull, so... God, that's a pretty dark way of putting it. But, yeah. Alright, so, yeah, Mo is on their way to Dragon. Andy is going to go through the escape. So, yeah, our runners are going to have to go through a customized escape sequence. Basically leveraging the current map that they've been playing through, and they have to get back to the ship. So 3 minutes 20 seconds is the time that they're allowed to get to before, you know, Zebis, whatever you want to call it, explodes. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of time to get there. I think I find, I don't know about you, Aussie, I find when the timer is longer, I feel like it's just easier to kind of get to ship, but you just gotta know where to go, right?
Right, so the timer, it gives you a 50% or 40% extra time. And so if you can match how long it takes, how long it expects you to do a room, then you're just going to be banking more time for every room. And that's why these longer escapes are going to feel easier. And the short escapes, you're going to be closer to the timer.
Yeah, I've had a couple where it's like, I had like 9 seconds to spare, and it's kind of, you're like a little worried. And then like on average, I think I get around 35 to 40 seconds, like when I'm getting through that last door before ship. And I'm like, oh, that's what I'm expecting. Let's kill this, right? So I think it just it's kind of a good tell to say, all right, how good is your movement during these, right? So another fun thing with the map random too, while we're talking about escape, is there's actually a setting to kind of practice your escapes, right, Aussie?
Yeah, you can start at the final escape, and it'll give you all the items like they already have. So you can just run through the escape, and that kind of like also helps with your movement through just random rooms. Because in a speed run, you don't really have a reason to practice a lot of these rooms. But if you're doing randomized escape, then maybe you just want to figure out strats. But those are a lot of fun to play. I like playing escape starts.
Yeah, I like
I
doing them
think,
every once in a while too. They're very soothing, right? Like they're very low stress. You're generally not racing them either, and it's just like, hey, I'm just having some fun here, right? And it's kind of like a neat little puzzle. You just have to try and see how fast you can beat it.
yep, so Andy, just coming up through Norfair here. Not expecting any issues related to the timer at all. It should have like even more than 30 seconds left because it's just a long escape. And then that'll be it for his run. And then like not pausing during this escape. The pause, it's not going to count down the escape timer, but because this is a real-time race, it'll help if you don't pause. So you just have to try to have the mental capacity to remember like, the entire world's map. Save that bit of time. Yeah, and here we got a whole minute. And that's GG with Andy with first place on the restream with hour 10. This first. Then in the race room, we have Andy in fourth place. And that's out of 29.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So Simo came first with an hour 3 minutes. Then Oates with an hour 4.5. Eddie with an hour 5 exactly. And then finally Andy with the hour 10:41.
It's just a weird seed, right? Like you're kind of going through it and you're watching through these two runners' perspectives. And then you're just kind of seeing them get kind of lost pretty badly at the start, right? But just knowing that now Andy's finished like fourth just really puts it in the context that like it looks like everyone went through that early game pain. And Map Rando really can do that to you. It can really confuse you in a hurry, right, at the starts. But again, just kudos to him for the fourth place. All right, Mo is going to be climbing up Bryn now. Only has really left to kill. Probably just going to head back to ship here with the knowledge he has. And he's probably just going to want to try and finish this out.
Yep. Plasma Wave is a very strong beam. And then this is still, was it 9 E-tanks and 3 reserves we're on now? That's a lot of health. So it should be okay. And then also the nearby save, so you don't stress too much about Ridley. You get some extra items on the way. Supers are still going to be the best DPS for Ridley, even if you had full beam. And that's because they do double damage. What, 20 supers? Should be pretty fine with this fight now. Welcome to Andy joining us here in commentary. GG's.
Hello, GG's.
How are you feeling about that seed? It looked like there was a little bit of confusion early on.
Yeah, that was a really weird morph ball. I didn't want to go right through the Metroids at first, because you need, charge ice screw to get through. And I was like, okay, we'll leave that for later. And then I pulled the screw from somewhere and charge from. I think charge. I don't know if screw was in logic or not. It probably was, but I pulled them both, and I was like, uh-oh. I'm not sure if you could have like kept like blue to try and break those crumble blocks without screw attack. And just go
Not
right
with
back
that
up.
combination of rooms, though.
Yeah, we talked about that, Andy. It didn't seem possible at all. So
Yeah.
that's what the screw attack was required for. Was that more?
Yeah, that was pretty nasty. I don't know when the last time I did a hard tricky and I got morph at like the 20-minute mark was. But that was fun. And then yeah, other than that, it was just find power bombs, since there was like no ammo before morph either.
Yeah, it's like there was a lot more map opened up early on, and so it's a lot of space to look for more, and a lot of space to look for power bombs. And then we were seeing that there were a lot of like filler E tanks and reserve tanks put around, and so that enabled some of the heat runs, like to get to screw attack.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was a fun seed. I enjoyed playing it. Me going all the way to that plasma felt nice. I didn't want to go all the way to below Mother Brain in case that was like Spring Ball or something at that point. And I was just like, if that's Varia, I'm probably owned. But then Varia ended up being in Meridia.
Did you feel that you needed Varia, though, by the time you got it?
I only had like 10 supers before I got to that area, so I like
Yeah, that was the problem.
10 supers and just like charge plasma. I was like, I have a lot of health, but I don't really I'm not familiar enough with like what charge plasma does to Ridley to know if I even have enough health for it. So I wanted to go to I was still looking for Kraid anyways, so going to Meridia made sense. And then there was a bunch of ammo there. So even if Varia wasn't there, I would have been fine after Meridia, I'm pretty sure. But
That's a very interesting Ridley kill. Most high.
Okay, there we go. I was like, survive? But yeah,
it's fine.
Well, I mean, again, with ship right there, right? But yeah, what is it, Aussie? It's like 36 shots, I think, just charge plasma. Kill Ridley.
I
think
it's 40.
Is it 40? Okay, yeah, that's
40.
That's a lot.
Then. Yeah, that's a lot. Well, the way I explain to people when they like try to tackle really heat kills, it's just like, think of it like you're just up against a clock, right? I'm not really trying to, like, getting hit by Ridley, you don't want to do anyways. It's just like, how long is the fight going to take, and how long can I survive the heat damage, right? So, like, every minute you're losing, what, 9 tanks worth of energy? Every per minute that you're in there. So it just really sums up how quick you got to make that fight happen. So 40 shots, it's pretty slow, right? So, yeah. That would suck. Andy's just like, yeah.
Yep, that's why I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I guess like with that wave, it would have felt better.
Yeah, well then just don't skip it next time for it.
Yeah, just don't skip it. But yeah, I don't think there was any shot that I was thinking about skipping Varia, but with how bad the ammo situation was, there wasn't like a feasible skip Varia option in my mind.
Here's another one. In the kind of mid game, it looked like you were really going for hollow dots, like specifically by skipping the plasma and wave locations, going to where Dragon was instead. Was that your plan at the time? And then you just didn't get supers?
And then I just didn't get supers, and I was like, okay, yeah, because when I went to go check Rex ship, I wanted to do that before like going all the way down Three Musketeers to that Bryn, since I still hadn't found Meridia either. And I figured it'd be a while before I came back, and Rex ship is usually pretty small. So I decided to clear all the holodots there before heading down, hoping for health. Or not health, hoping for supers, and then I just didn't get any. And so at that point, I was after wreck ship, I was kind of just hunting majors and like still checking some holodots that were in path, I guess.
Does that mean you learned your lesson to not trust holodots to give you supers?
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, Andy, that was omega greedy. I'm just gonna call that out. Like, I thought about it too. I was like, with the major there, I would have probably at least chased the one, but I get why, like, the methodology, right? Because I just feel every time I do it, I get burned by hollows every single time, until they're just all free, right? So you almost can never make a right decision, but I think I just chase those beams, sorry, or those majors. And I get your point, like, it could be spring and all that other fun stuff, so I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, doing wreck ship before checking those 2 majors was just because I didn't want to commit to going down 3 musketeers yet before wreck ship anyways. And then I couldn't figure out if I wanted to check one or both on my way down to Bryn. And I like made my decision on my way there. And I was like, I'm just gonna check one. It'll be fine.
Completely unrelated to race, Andy. I'm just putting back together my controller right now. You know what's the worst thing? Is getting told, hey, the screw size is this for replacement screws, and then it's not the correct screw size. It looks like it's literally one step down, and I'm like, I don't want to break this thing.
Yeah. That's where you take screws out of a different controller and just use those.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do.
Yeah, I need to do something like that. I've just been losing screws, so I just have fewer holding it together.
Yeah, I thought I got the right sizes, but Reddit, you let me down. You know, you're like, hey, this is the correct size, and then it wasn't.
That's where Solsky probably read like a 14-year-old Reddit post about SNES controller screw sizes.
Well, like, what else are you gonna do, Andy? No one else is
more
like
accurate.
publicizing this shit.
It's closer to when it was relevant.
Yeah. Now I gotta use the old ones. Oh god. I was like, oh, thank God I'm replacing these. They're like getting ready to strip, and then sure enough, going back in. Yeah, I do not want to crack the shell, so.
Also not related to the race, Emmett finally came to my chat and said, it said I was banned.
Good.
You're welcome, Emmett. I gave him a strict warning yesterday.
God, Eddie's given me like 13 warnings in the last day. Like, he's addicted. Did you know you can report those too? And the very first thing you can report it as is terrorism. I don't know why, but it's there. There's like hateful speech. There's like sexual harassment, right? There's like hateful conduct, bullying and harassment, terrorism right at the top. Just like, oh my god. Okay, did like Homeland Security make him put that on there? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus, man.
Yeah. Thanks for letting us use your restream, Andy.
Of course.
Gave us, you placed well in the race as always.
I wouldn't say always. No. I wouldn't say always.
Definitely didn't get last in a race yesterday.
Really did not. You did so good.
But yeah, 4th feels pretty good with this lineup.
Yeah, it's the biggest race too, right? Like 29 people. That's huge.
Couldn't make it 4 times in a row. I beat Oates though, unfortunately.
Yeah, unless there's anything more we want to talk about, you can go if you want.
Yeah, no, I think that's it. GG's. Mo's finishing up nicely. That was a pretty decent no ice Zebrin. I hate doing pre-Mother Brain without Ice Beam. It is maybe my least favorite thing in this game.
Did we talk about what got hung up on Mo for Andy's side? Aussie?
We didn't. It was mostly missing screw attack for a long time.
Yeah,
Is
so he
Moses
went
show.
and went past old Mother Brain without screw attack. I jumped and kind of left, so that's a big part
Did
of
actually everything except
Yeah.
screw attack.
So you guys were like room for room, basically up until that point, and then we saw where Morpho was like, uh-oh! And like where screw attack is, right? So it's like miles away from that. So yeah, that's pretty much the time difference. Yeah. Otherwise, like really good run from him too. So
Yeah, GG's. I will catch you guys later.
all right, take care, dude. Have a good one. So Mo finishing up his escape now.
Yep. Didn't have ice, so couldn't really do Zep Skip. And then I think he's also trying to be really careful with his health while going
Yeah.
through the Zebatites, not having Varia.
Yeah, so the diff there is traditionally in Super Metroid, you would only need 3 E-Tanks to survive the fight, with having both Varia and Gravity, but without Varia, Rainbow Beam does 6 tanks for the damage versus 3, so really just wants to be careful to not damage down too much. You can take less damage during the fight, and overall just a tighter time, basically, right? So,
Yeah, also the Rinkas do kind of surprising amount of damage if you don't have both suits. And the damage just really adds up. Maybe they knock you in the acid. So you want to be a little bit careful. From here, another 2 minutes to the ship, and we're not really expecting this escape time to be too different from what Andy got. So not going to use the full timer. Now on these restreams, I try to pick racers who have kind of similar skills, similar movement ability, and get a good race out of it. In the seed, Mo got tripped up by the seed more than Andy did, so it just ended up being a big gap between them. But Map Rando is a very confusing randomizer. We do have a tournament coming up with SpeedGaming Live, the online portion, and that's going to be featuring Map Rando. So I have a bit of a concern for anyone who wants to participate in that and hasn't already started practicing, because there's a lot to learn, mostly about routing, like how to read the map and route it. So I don't know how long that'll take.
yeah, they got
That'll be
what,
fun.
like 2 weeks now until that launches
Yeah,
with the qualifiers. Yeah.
with qualifiers. And then like 1 match a week is still a lot of time to get practice in. It's a lengthy tournament. But might as well continue plugging it. SpeedGaming Live is a community-backed event, so if you want to support the racers, you can donate to SpeedGaming Live, to the race, the match of your choice. And that's going to be Mo finishing with the hour 27, 50 seconds. Good for 15th place. So GG to Mo. Tracker. Done. Now that he's done, the bot's going to send out a Discord invite, and we'll see if he wants to join or not. But we still have lots of time before the next thing on Speed Gaming 2. And there is a thing following this.
So you're saying you're just gonna bust out the live feed of your game and you're just gonna go for Taco Tank again?
Yeah, we got more than 10 minutes now, so maybe like a 20-minute run of Taco Tank. But now people know what to expect from me. I'm not gonna guess that I can actually do it.
Yeah, it's a no joke tech. It's like handful of people that can do it like competently.
Yeah.
So
Like to get that ready for RBO, you have to really, really practice it.
yeah, like if I was running the category, I probably wouldn't even start practicing it until like top 3, I think, at that point. Because anything past that, I don't know. Like, how much time does it save again? It's like 20 seconds, right? Or is it more now?
Yeah, it's between 20 and 40.
Yeah.
But it saves. Running to the E-tank from the left door takes 45 seconds. But then you're not expecting to first try Taco Tank. So
Right.
you want to give it 2 or 3 or 4 tries.
Right.
Then there's another big trick, and that was carrying the spike suit all the way from the back of Lord Warfare to after Batoon. And now I found that one even harder to do.
Oh, wow.
Like I could do Taco Tank like fast enough for the speed run, but I couldn't carry the spike suit all that way. So just gonna continue waiting a little bit for Mo to join us here for the post-game interview.
I guess while we're waiting, what are the other modes? Oh, I think I see Mo getting set up. I was gonna say, well, like we could talk about the other modes that are available. We have the escape, we have that standard ship start. There's a random start option as well. That kind of just places you randomly within the map somewhere on a predetermined point, and then you're expected to kind of start from there. Like an area shuffle that kind of shuffles around the sizes of the maps. It kind of just like recolors it, but it'll kind of, it won't be like conventional. Like the way it works now is like Brinstar and Warfare are always like really big, and like Terrain and Wreck Ship would be pretty small maps that get generated. But then with like that area shuffle, kind of mix that all up, and you can have like a huge Turian, for example, right? So
Yeah, we just released a new beam door mode.
yes.
So
Yes.
here we had ammo doors, which are going to be the pink, green, and orange doors. But you can also have beam doors, and they're all going to come with a new graphic, custom made. And they'll only open when you have the specific beam, and that is Ice Wave, Spazer Plasma, and also Charge. So just more types of locks that are going to be just randomly put in the world. There is starting items. I think I'd call that a mode. You can give yourself different things to start with. So if you want to practice a particular tech, so like if you're doing G mode practice, you can give yourself X-ray and a reserve tank from the start. There is removed items from the pool. And so if you see people playing Desolate mode, then that's essentially what they're doing. And so that's going to cut off everything that you don't need to finish a seed. On the last step, it just deletes everything that's left over. But many, many options on the website. It's best to explore it yourself, especially if you want to see what texts are available. Like exploring the website is going to show you like videos of the tricks that can be expected, and then like they're going to first show up as GIFs, but then you can click them to get better quality videos, and those are put there as a good way to learn the strats. And that's something that I'm trying to push, that more people become aware of, is all the strat videos that are on the website. Just a good
Yeah,
learning
so where can
tool.
they find those strat videos?
So they're going to be on the generate page under a strat selection. And the problem with that is it's a little bit hidden. But like the logic is really customizable, so that's where it has to go. But that'll show you what's available on a difficulty preset. The more obvious place to look for strat videos is going to be in the logic page. And on the right side of that is going to be all the text. And so that's like can wall jump or can do water rooms or can IBJ. So if you look at the logic pages for those, then it'll show you a video demonstrating how to do that tech. And
Yeah, it's
then,
really handy.
and then in addition to that is the more complicated strats. And from the logic pages, you'd go to a individual room that you're curious about. And you look through all the strats that are part of that room. But yeah, right after this is another Metroid 2 remake. Looks like Rando. So we can't stay here for too long. But we got lots of time. Otherwise, on SpeedGaming, we have SNES Superstars still going on. It's a really long marathon, 24/7 content. They're doing Dragon View now. Now, I'm also seeing that a lot of the SpeedGaming channels are just packed. Whenever I come to look at the schedule for these weeklies, there's just always a lot of things going on. In Super Metroid news, we have the mystery dash tournament going on. Let's see, what is that? The next one is 8 with Kip and Nevdi. That sounds exciting. SpeedGaming 3. So that's just gonna be a little over 2 hours away. And then also at the same time is Salmon versus Jero. Cool. It's when there's tournaments going on that it's hard to get these weekly time slots.
Yeah.
And right now we have LTTPR No Logic. I think there's a casual link to the past tournament too. Then there's Dash tournament, the marathon. A lot of various things going on. It looks like actually Mo is having tech issues and I guess can't do the interview. So I guess we're about done here.
Sounds good to me. Are you actually going to join the tournament, or are you just going to kind of admin it?
Yeah, I was gonna join the Map Rando tournament.
He's like, yeah, I got to win, right? Like,
I gotta
oh, Mo's
win.
back. Hold on. Question mark? Maybe. Maybe. Let's give him like 10 more seconds. I was just like, no, I want to leave.
I already told the people we were leaving.
All right.
On that.
All right, we'll leave. It's fine.
Yeah. Tech difficulties are unfortunate.
Yep. All right, well, I guess that's going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and catch you guys for the next Map Rando Weekly. Take care, guys.